Hello and welcome to Scorpio's Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus signs for the Path of True Love for July 2019. I am your reader for today, Mark Angelo Lyons, president of Drawing the Circle Productions, professional intuitive and professional witch. And if you've been watching, look, my hair's different. It's transformation like Scorpio. I actually had a Capricorn cut my hair. I am in Bushwick, by the way. If you're wondering, well, you know, where's the kitties and the steps? They're back at the home office. I am in Bushwick, Brooklyn, for Gay Pride weekend. Very excited to be here. Very relaxed at the moment. Got in last night. Was met with a tequila-based cocktail, a bowl of pecans, and a bowl of onions. And knowing my host, it's some sort of exotic cheese. I didn't ask. It was tired. I was tired. And my host for this weekend is a Scorpio, my friend Mark. So when I realized that I was coming earlier, I was going to try and get all 12 videos done for this series before I left, but I really surrendered it to the gods. And they said, you know what? If you don't get to launch Pisces until Monday or Tuesday, because Tuesday is the new moon in Cancer, not the end of the world, Mark, you're the only one who really cares. I'm like, okay, good. So that, let me release. And getting the haircut in Bushwick was definitely part of the divine plan. I love it. For me, I'm calling it Harry Hamlin, Clash of the Titans, 1981 beach scene, if you know what I'm talking about. Oh, I think that if that movie didn't make me gay, him in particular, well, it's certainly implanted some time release mechanisms, right? Let's get into the reading. I've already been in communication with the invisible, non-physical beings that I work with in terms of guidance and grace. And I'm doing what I'm about to do. If this is your first one of mine that you're watching, I'm just explaining this for the first 12, and then tough, you're all just going to have to figure it out, whoever comes later on. The 3 zones, channels, levels of the divine that I work with for readings and spiritual counseling are the angels, the gods, and the masters, AGM. So I communicate with my angels, with the Doreen Virtue Healing Oracle Angel something or other. I've had this deck for so long, I honestly do not remember the original title of it. And I know it's a Google away, I could do that. My gods, I work with a rotating Hellenic pantheon of 12 in the courtyard, in the castle of my soul. It's a big circle with 12 thrones, each marked with a different sign of the zodiac. And each one of those thrones, there is always a god in attendance, god or goddess. So tuning in before, the angels were lovely. The Urielites are ready to go to work, as well as there's some Gabrielites lining up to help. But with the gods, Hades, Lord Hades, sits in the throne of Scorpio for me. Add to that at Yule winter solstice, I always say they chose me. It looks like I chose them, they chose me. He chose me, I chose him, whatever that paradox is, for my annual patron. In other words, every year I pick a god in my pantheon to be my patron and a goddess to be my matron, sort of like mother, father, and it's deepened my relationships with them. And I don't recommend it for everybody. That's a mystical cultivation going on there that takes years and years and years. And yes, I can teach people how to do it. I think you just approach, but I've got some mementos along the way. All right, so all of them are going to be chiming in, just to be clear, but Hades in particular is ready to go. My masters. Now look, they're called the Ascended Masters. I'm getting over calling them the Ascended Masters. It's not that I didn't believe in them, or what happens when we evolve. Like, what is the end point of learning your lessons on planet Earth? And Scorpio in particular, that can be a very important thing to you. And I'll talk about the pre-tune month too, because I'm even tuning to the Scorpio Collective right now for the month of July on the Path of True Love. I could feel it. So the masters are the graduates, the masters, right? You graduate college and you know your basic levels, and then you get your masters, right? PhDs, and they're all different kinds. So I will tell you this: the two that I always work with, right there. But I was like, ooh, there's somebody else there with you, and they're like, yes, don't ask, but it's an ascended master of sex and sexuality. And I was like, there's an ascended master of sex and sexuality. They're like, yes, there are. So even like with angels and gods, everything's in pantheons. Everybody, it's all, you know, the illusion of separation. We're all the one. We're all the divine. But you know, it's fun to dress up and play. So as I tuned to this, I mean, I was sitting here before I hit the record button, and I won't say that I was shaking, but I was a little shook as I tuned to the Scorpio in the collective for the month of July 2019 on the path of true love. Oh, it's like I have to slow my roll. It's so intense, but not necessarily that traumatic. It doesn't feel traumatic. So this is the empathic part, the feeling part. It's not like, oh my God, it's so intense, like rushing in traffic, but it just feels like a lot, and it feels interesting. So this is why we do this. Ready? Let's get down to it. Get down on it. Get down on it. That's a little scorpionic, guys. Here we go. Right, there's a DJ in the Ascended Master Collective. Okay. My angels, Urielites, Gabrielites, but really any of the archangelic legions that care to assist. Can you please just start us off with one card, an overview? These cards, whatever they're drawn, let them apply to Scorpio, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus signs for the month of July 2019 on the path of true love. That one. Study. Now I have to say, this card's been coming up a lot. And if you haven't noticed, when I shuffle, I close my eyes. Been doing it for years. It's just natural. So I'm really surrendering. I'm even like asking the angels to take over. And now I do it with the gods. You know, I could never do that thing where you butterfly the cards out. I've tried 10,000 times. They're like, kid, just read them. Don't spread them. Spread them. This would be a reference. Money, sex, and power, right? All right, my gods. Here we go. Oh, my Lord Hades, my patron, my love. To me, he looks like Michael Hutchins from In Excess with long, pin, straight black hair. He doesn't show up scary to me. He's the ender of pain. He's a lot of things. King of the underworld. So Hera, queen of heaven. Hades, king of hell, because why not have range for a year? Oh, Hades. And my gods in general, any gods, please, all gods that have interest. Can you give us a little clarity for Scorpio, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus signs for the month of July 2009 on the path of true love? Libra. Now, we will talk about each of these cards individually, but already that might not necessarily be about a Libran or somebody with a Libra Sun, Moon, Rising, etc. It is definitely a card of relationships. Though maybe it just, I mean, I do go into the energy of Libra in the Libra reading that I just did, the one before this one. But just, you know, it's about balancing. It's about, oh, and the goddess on this one is Skadi, the north wind. So we're looking at that northern Norse. Don't clock me if it's Swedish and instead of Norwegian, it's like Northern Europe goddess. Let's just do that. I'm not into pissing off any gods, particularly them up there. None of them really. My masters. Hi, new guy. Can you please give us one card for the sign of Scorpio, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus for the month of July 2019 on the path of true love? Ooh. Ooh. Tease it out, tease it out. Giving. So I guess we got some Scorpio tops on the channel today. To start with, This triad here says that particularly with study and a Libra card, that balancing, it is about relationships, ruled by Venus. Libra is ruled by Venus. So there is an indication here of the path of true love, particularly in a romantic context. Although with the card of study, it's saying that really no tea, no shade, no pink lemonade. You are in a lesson and you can study for this month. Like, it's a study in a relationship balance of giving. Okay, that's all we're doing. Are you kidding? You're Scorpios. And if you don't already know this already, particularly the Scorpio moons are probably like, So, you know what? Right now, the angels feel like clear. It's like, we know, study. The type of relationship we could look at, but okay, my gods, please give me a clarifier. 2 cards for the balancing poles, the balancing sides of the scale, to help elucidate and clarify this Libra card. So on one side we got that, the one right next to it, that. Okay. On one side of the scale, we've got the Cancerian card. So we're looking at, and I can feel that very much there, emotional, caring, nurturing, but moody. My mother is a Cancerian. I've always had a Cancerian person in my life. I call it my archetypal lifelong case of crabs. And we'll tune to that because the other one is the 4 of Pentacles, Earthquake. I love this card. A lot of people are afraid of this card, 5 of Pentacles. And I know in the traditional Rider-Waite, you know, it's like, oh, limping past the church window. This card of Earthquake, I'm an Earth sign. So I ain't so afraid of earthquakes, plus I'm a Virgo, which is mutable Earth, which is shaky Earth, right? Moving Earth. So how long does it take for an earthquake to do its thing? They're not terribly long. Like 10 seconds is a long earthquake, right? But short in terms of temporal clock time. How much change do they make? How much change do they make? So putting these 2 together, whether these are 2 people or the 2 things that you are trying to balance, Scorpio, I can maybe pull some more cards on that using the Love Pack by Chuck Spezzano, which I forgot to introduce that deck. I will do that. This is Daughters of the Moon. See, I'm going non-linear because this energy is intense. It's not necessarily fast, but it's strong. So it's bringing me right to the point, like a scorpion stinger. So we're looking at some emotional, embracing, healing, sensitivity, but a deep sense of love, and not just like romantic, oh, you're so cute kind of love, but that sort of like soul love, oh my God, I have loved you. This life, last life, every life since the Big Bang. I miss you. This feels like it could be, you know, here we get into what can often become the toxic language of spiritual relationship patterning. It's a soulmate. It's a true love. It's a floor wax. It's a dessert topping. I'm just calling all of this stuff true lovers, right? Particularly in the romantic context, because then you get to keep the mystery of don't really know. If it's a twin flame, which there are different parameters of what that means depending on who you read or listen to. Same for soulmate, right? And people are talking about, oh, you're in a karmic. Oh, you're in a karmic. He's in a karmic. She's in a karmic. Karmic relationships, I get it. That sounds like a rough fucking ride. And, you know, maybe all of them that we've had up until we're really ready are karmic. But definitely the emotional part of that, and shit's changing quickly. But the kind of thing where the fear of devastation could be there. Because you know it does not take long for an earthquake to change everything. But it wasn't the card of the Tower, mind you. So, you know, here I am in Brooklyn, in Bushwick. You know, 9/11, I was living on Long Island. The day it happened, Tuesday, I fully fucking remember it. I'm not going into that right now, but maybe that's Hades just reminding me that, you know, tower moments come to all of us. And, you know, I had students who were studying with me, and in their homework, they all got the Tower that week or the week before. and they all thought it was personal. That was collective, right? That changed the world. Earthquake is usually personal. You could say that this is sort of the minor arcana version of the Tower. So emotionally, you're letting things shake out, and if you can embrace and love through this month, just now, my dominant intention is to love what rising and keep my conduct clean with everybody else on planet Earth while I'm going through this behind castle walls. Cancer crab, love you, love you, love you, love you. Really not feeling that these are two different people. Scorpio, I'm feeling that this is within you, but that this is probably about a love that has been since jump. Let's move on. All right, so here's now a warning. It's my favorite line from Death Becomes Her. Isabella Rossellini. It's not to love. I saw her on a show dressed as a dolphin talking about dolphin sex. That's an artist. I mean that, by the way. Although I was raised by the sarcastic, maybe hard to tell. All right, masters, here we go. This is The Love Pack by Chuck Spezzano. Here's the warning. You would think with something called the Love Pack that it would be, you know, like affirmations, and a good chunk of them are, but a good chunk of them are also what I have deemed the womp womp cards, like, for instance, deception. Now, I'm not saying that's going on in this reading. I'm going to shuffle those. Really just wanted to show you, but Scorpios and deception, that never happens. Because also in this deck you have, these cards show up. See, that's why I close my eyes. You can't say, I fucking chose them and put them out there. For example, intimacy is another card. That's one of the luck cards. So they are broken down into almost their own suits, but there are more in some decks than others. I still love it. So remember here we've got this card of giving, right? So a giving to oneself, a giving to another. Who knows? That the lesson in the study that the angels indicate here are saying this is what the month is about. So with all of that change and that emotionality going on, trying to keep it in balance with that Libra, you know, with her, that cardinal air, so there's some creativity and something that can come out of this that's new, but that this is, I don't like using cliches, but I could say eternal love, that this is a soul contract that y'all been working on for a while. All right, sorry, time traveling. So, my masters, we've already blessed the deck. You know what this is for. I don't have to keep repeating it. I know you don't even want me to. So, please, a clarifying card for what is being given, or the object of giving, or the process of giving for these Scorpios. 2 cards. Again, what do you want? The good news or the bad news? Yeah, let's do it the dramatic way. This isn't really fun for you, but here we go. All right, Scorpio, giving the erotic. I now have Erotic City by Prince playing in my head. Oh, you know I've chatted with him since he crossed. I love him. The erotic. The erotic. Now look. We're going to look at the word erotic. Look at the god it's named after, Eros. Son of Aphrodite, right? And Aries, because he's an archer. So you know that warrior part that it takes to walk the path of true love. Eros is pretty much the perfect blend of the masculine and feminine on that, in the terms of the ability, like the ocean. Aphros means foam. So Aphros deity, she's the sea foam. She's the ocean. Endless, boundless love. But in the romantic, that's what this one feels. It feels like the relationship that we're looking at here has that sort of endless, boundless take to it. Earthquake should be interesting. So with that thing of the erotic, there's some action involved here. I would say that contributing to this reading is Eros. This is my bow of Eros, the prince's bow, my diplomat's cuff, my prince archetype, always handy. And by the way, this is Hades, and here's Persephone as well, and there's Apollo, and there's Poseidon. Every piece of jewelry I wear connected to their totems of the divine. So to tell you that Eros and Scorpios, Eros and Hades seem to be in on this. There is a transformation going on, earthquake, no question. Maybe more physical literal because it is a pentacle card. But with that erotic energy, this could be tantric kundalini, something like that going on. Remember, these are masters giving us these. But now here's the other one. Oh, fuck us all. I'm so sorry. Lack of self-worth. Lack of self-worth. But here's what they're showing me. Here's the clairvoyant part in Dolby surround sound. Someone's coming in if they haven't been in already. Because remember, there is a spectrum of quantum variations that I'm tuning to. So that's why so many people can get from the same content, I guess, in this case, information, guidance, pieces of clues on the path of true love. But this feels like someone comes in and there is a real giving, and it feels like of erotic freedom. Hold up, one more. Can you give us one? No, they want this one. All right, no, my gods went in on that. Okay. No fighting, folks. I love you. They're not fighting. I make them laugh. My gods, please, one for this card of the erotic. Oh yeah, the Pisces card. Honey. I am a Pisces moon. Woo, girl. There's a lot of emotion, a lot of water there. That a giving of the erotic may very well trigger an earthquake, knocks you off balance for a second emotionally, and it's going to expose somebody's lack of self-worth. Now, if not, now, okay, you know how that often manifests itself? People run. They ghost you. They disappear. I really try not to ghost people. I just get so busy. It gets lost in the shuffle. But when somebody ghosts you, it's so funny that we use that term, right? It's not that they spirit guide you. No, they ghost you, which we think of as a scary, haunting thing. It's because they're scared. It's not really about you. You triggered something. So whether you are the one who delivers, gives, you know, and they're saying that chances are you are the one that Scorpio delivering a dose of the erotic. Now, watch your conduct, obviously. If there's someone where those boundaries are in place, when we're talking about the Piscean here, there is an aspect of fantasy, perhaps role play, perhaps a little chippy dippy chainy whippy. I mean, come on, you're Scorpios. Never met a Scorpio I didn't love, but there were plenty that I did not fuck. Because some of them, I was like, you want me to do what? I mean, I'm all down for some fun. Because, you know, my natal patron is the god Dionysus, right? So I've been wearing this pentacle for Dionysus since the Lilith fair in the 90s. That's how long I've had that one. But in pre-Mycenaean mythology, essentially, Dionysus and Hades are the same god. That as the tribes migrated, they started being reclassified. And it makes sense because Dionysus is a vegetation god, death and rebirth, right? Like crops and whatnot. Sorry, this chair rolls, so I'm going for a little ride. It's kind of fun though. Dionysus right there. So that feeling of get your groove on, but Scorpios, you're not necessarily known for doing that shit in public. We get it. So that thing of fear of or lack of self-worth, if that's you that feels that, get that this is an opportunity, if you're on the receiving end of this opportunity, because remember, there's something to learn here. So there's a difference between an intuition in your gut that says, no, this is not for me, and being triggered by something that is about the past. And what's the difference? The story connected to it. You want to do a quickie? I've done this for so long. We're going to do a second chakra check, a gut check, all right? Everybody close your eyes unless you're driving or childcare, you know. Be safe, be sane, be wise. Just close your eyes for a second. Take a few deep breaths. Just clear the screen of your mind that it's like a big movie screen. And now up on the movie screen comes the face of somebody that you find sexually attractive. Can be someone you know, can be a celebrity, really whoever comes to mind. I mean, I've got such talk about a pantheon. There's so many, but you know, I usually go for Tom Selleck season 1 of Magnum PI, or Hugh Jackman, because I hear he has a huge acronym. Now, tune into the area right below your navel, about 2 inches down, and deepen. And now imagine whoever you envision there smiling at you, flirting a little. You feel that? That's called your second chakra, and it is going, It's instant, it's there, it's lower 3 chakra, no story attached to it. That's saying there's a connection here. Now, clear the screen, take a breath. And imagine on the screen the last person on earth you would ever want to meet or speak to, let alone exchange naughty time. Oh, fuck. Yeah, no, let it go, breathe, let it go. You get the idea. It's visceral, but it's not necessarily physiological, right? It's not like you just got a fart or something's moving, but that's part of survival intuition. That sort of thing tells you whether or not at this moment you're in flow with the divine plan. And yes, there is always going to be a risk, but that sort of thing, it can hit like an earthquake and change everything. So hang in there, my Scorpios. I have a feeling I'm going to get some emails on this. So by the way, if you want to go deeper into this, you know, this part of the, look, I'm a Virgo, right? I run a business. My business is 21 years old. Join the Circle Productions. Please go to the website, check it out, check out my store, and blah, blah, blah. Follow, like, subscribe, all of that. But I'm doing this because I love it. And this is what I'm good at, right? Pick a lane and do the best you can in that lane. That's what this is moving forward in my life. So, yeah, I read people all the time. Book me, contact me. I will juggle. And as I said to Luke, my hairstylist today, when I got my hair done, I said to him, you know, I'm a professional witch. And he goes, well, what do you mean by that? I say, I don't have a day job. This is it. So, you know, this is it. This is my life's path. This is what I'm meant to do. And I got to tell you, I'm loving it so much. But it's a risk. And just like this is a risk. But now here comes Hades from behind saying, yes, but there is great purpose in it all, and your passions, as deep, as dark, as distorted as you may experience them, are parts of the path calling you forward. And sometimes we just got to melt a lot of lead to get to the gold. So have at it. Cool beans. Contact me for reading if you want it. Link is in the comments below and in the little description section. Otherwise, for now, you know what? Let me do this. To my Scorpio, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus signs for the month of July 2017. May you be blessed. May you be blessed with everything that you need, step by step, breath by breath, to uncover and explore and shake out through the path of true love for you, that you may come to an understanding of self-worth as not something dependent upon the conditions of the world or the past, but something guaranteed by the very angels, gods, and masters that you share reality with. We are all one at core, so your worth is beyond calculating. I love you, and thank you for being on the planet. I know it's hard, and I'm sorry it's been rough, but hang in there. Not that there's a reason for everything. I'm annoyed with that. There is a purpose. And Scorpio, you have the skill to feel it more than just think it. Of course I brought them. Fan drop. Thank you so much for your time. I wish you a wonderful weekend. But for now, whenever you're watching this, I'm having a great weekend. And I'm not going to touch a drop of alcohol when I do these, by the way. No, sorry, Dionysus, it's being a professional witch. For now, hail, farewell, and blessed be.